What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Garage. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we just took on a bunch of customer jobs, trying to make as much money as possible so that today we would be able to start our next new project vehicle. Now, obviously, we didn't make as much money as I had intended us to make, and I actually started just before this recording another job. It was a big rust repair. I think we got like $1,500 for it, so we're sitting at $3,600 now today. Obviously, that's not enough money for us to go over to the used car dealership, or even the junkyard for that matter, and purchase our next new project vehicle. So, we're not going to be starting a new vehicle today, but we will be starting a new project on an existing vehicle, of course. So you guys know we spent a buttload of time swapping this V8 into our four-door Lad right here. What we're going to do today is actually rip the thing out and replace it with its original engine, but with a twist. I really want to try the turbo kit today. So we're going to start by dissecting this inline 4 and figure out what it actually needs so it can be up to par. And then we'll start adding on the turbo bits and getting it crammed, not even crammed because the V8 is crammed in here, but we'll get the inline 4 placed, very gently placed back into the engine bay. So also want to wish you guys a very happy Tuesday. Super big apologies that I missed yesterday's upload. I was feeling real gross. Still feeling really gross, but less gross than yesterday. So we're just going to power through it, see how far we can actually get. Let's first grab our wrench, get this bad boy Billy secured. We'll definitely still be using the V8 Lad in its current form, sort of as a... God, sometimes the hood doesn't want to open. Sometimes it doesn't close either. There we go. But we will still be using the V8 Lad as our parts runner vehicle, you know, going to and from the store, so we're not going to deconstruct that just yet. We're going to get started by disassembling the inline 4 so we can figure out what all we actually have to buy. To be honest, it's not near as bad as I was expecting, so that's good. Hopefully we can save a little bit more money that way. I also utilize these little trolley cart doodads, so we've got good parts over here, and then we've also got bad parts over here. Some of them are just a little more sus than others, you know what I mean? Like, they don't necessarily look like they're in bad condition. Like these three right here, the timing chain and then the clutch components, they probably should just be replaced, but they don't necessarily look worn out. These, on the other hand, all definitely do. So the list of worn out parts is actually a lot less than I was expecting. I really like using the notes pad for creating a parts list. Like, you can just literally just hit N for notes and it brings up a notepad. Really handy, except for when you're trying to type something like, I don't know, camshaft. You hit C, so then you crouch. If you were to just enter in another line, maybe you need a crankshaft next. Now you crouch even more. It's very annoying, is all. Now we're gonna come in and use the store's catalog to purchase all these parts because you can usually get things, you know, $2 or $3 off. In the long run though, it saves a ton of money. So we've got the Lad, inline 4, engine parts is what we need. First up, we got a camshaft, 58 bones, easy dub. Then we've got clutch plates, clutch pressure plate as well. Both of those are just questionable. You know, they were looking a little worn out, but not all that bad. Next, we're gonna need an ignition coil for 19 doll hairs, 1 piston. We do need 1 new starter, 1 new timing chain. And then what else are we missing? Oh no. Oh no, look at all the cool performance stuff, you guys. Should we take the time now, you know, while we're here to go through and purchase some of the performance stuff? We're also going to need a new transmission and a new exhaust because I threw our old one away thinking we'll never go back to using the i4 again. Except for we will, because we are today. So yeah, we kind of need a new one of those. Let's just go through and purchase all the stuff that we need to, because the transmissions are different on each engine. Like, we're using a 5-speed specifically for the V8 right now. That's not going to bolt up to our inline 4. So let's grab this $371 5-speed gearbox. Probably, hopefully, a good purchase there. And then what else are we gonna need? We don't need wires. The performance carburetor would be really cool, but I'm not 100% sure that it works with the turbocharger, I guess. It would also be really cool to upgrade to a 1.8 liter inline four instead of, I think our current one's a 1.5. So let's go ahead and purchase that as well. Hopefully that wasn't a huge mistake. I think we would be able to justify getting the performance carb even if it doesn't end up working with the turbo kit. So we'll purchase that $498. A performance fuel pump. That could be good. Performance distributor. The turbo, of course, for $460. Why did that not purchase? There we go. Okay. Kind of scared me there for a second. Then we're also going to need the manifold for the turbo. We've got some more exhaust for the turbo pipe, and then the air filter for the turbo. Oh, right, because we're using the... I've got you. Okay, cool, yeah. That is a big pile of parts. We're also down to $825 now. Not a whole lot of money left in the old bank account, but we'll get the parts runner vehicle filled up with all these brand spanking new parts, get them brought over to the garage. Oh, yikes. And then we can get assembling. Now that we've got all of our brand spanking new parts back at the garage, what we need to do next is actually finish fully deconstructing this. I wasn't expecting to upgrade to the 1.8 from the 1.5 to the 1.8. So we basically need to take everything else out of that block since we're not going to be using it. And hopefully the crankshaft is the same. Hopefully the pistons are all the same. IRL, that makes no sense whatsoever. The pistons would definitely be slightly larger on the 1.8, going from 1.5 to 1.8. So, again, hopefully this works, but we're going to find out. Let's grab, first, the brand new engine block. There we go. All right, we'll get that secured. I just wanted to get a better look at the bell housing portion for this. It does appear to be a slightly different shape. So again, hopefully we bought the right thing for what we're trying to do. So let's grab this bad boy and just try to drop him on in there. It works. It actually works. Okay. Few bolts. Few bolts right there. And we're good. It is in. Now, les pistons. We should have got another piston. You know what's probably easier? If I just like take all the stuff out, and then we'll just grab whatever it is that we need at that particular time. Like the piston, there it is. Okay, so this guy is gonna go right there. And then we've just gotta get him secured. And that is pretty much the bottom end complete. Now, oil pan, of course, very important. Let's go ahead and get the clutch stuff figured out too. So we're gonna unmount it from there. We'll just place it on the countertop over here, I suppose. Doesn't really matter, as long as we can get the job done. And now we've got to get our clutch disc and pressure plate, which is right here. See, the last one was black in color, and I'm not really sure why that is. Was it like a performance version that I don't know about, or who knows? Who knows? Maybe it was just a painted part. Actually, can we? Hang on. I need to test this. I have tried this before on a different part. Definitely not a pressure plate, but let's see if it doesn't work. 100% does not work. So I guess maybe this one is just discolored because it's bad. That very well could be the case. It looks like maybe a rusty color there on the top, and the surround is black. Doesn't really matter. Let's just get the new one put on there, and we'll be done with it. On to the cylinder head. First, we are going to need the cylinder head gasket. That is going to go right there. We can grab the head. Oddly enough, I didn't see an upgraded cylinder head for the 1.8. This is the same one from the 1.5. So we've got a higher displacement bottom end, but nothing has changed topside. So let's get our brand spanking new camshaft, because our old one was absolutely dusted, as you can tell. I'm curious, too, if we could compare the timing chains, because, as I mentioned, the one we took out just looked a little broken. Not too bad, but let's see what we're working with now with the new one. honestly, they look about the same visually, so I can't imagine there's any real change there. Oh, how do we get this in again? Do we have to actually do this before we put the cam in? It looks like we do actually have to install that before we can drop in the cam. So basically, we're getting the timing chain wrapped around the crankshaft gear before mating it up with the camshaft gear. That makes sense. So far, this is just a regular old, you know, inline 4 engine assembly. Nothing too crazy yet, but we haven't really got into any of the performance parts. I can't imagine they would bolt up any differently, but they might look a little bit different. So what all have we already used? Les pistons, camshaft, clutch kit, timing chain. So the starter and the ignition coil are the only other two things that actually needed to be replaced from the get-go. So let's grab our starter, mount that up right there. And then after this, we can then throw away all the, you know, useless junk we've got over there. And ignition coil is gonna be probably under the seat somewhere. Okay, last thing is gonna be the ignition coil. That is gonna go right there. Perfect. So let's grab the little trolley and we're gonna bring it over to this wall. That way we can clip our face once again through this wall and get rid of all the things that we no longer need. I'm gonna be a little careful about it and not try to get rid of our wrench. That is gonna go, no, okay, this happens all the time. There it is. We just have to grab things from far enough away so that we can actually reach the trash can on the opposite side of the wall. Easy. With all that useless junk now scrapped, let's start working on the front of the engine. So we've got the crankshaft pulley right there. Alternator is gonna go right here. Again, this is pretty much the same as what we've been doing thus far. You know, we have worked on the inline 4 quite a bit, so this is not new territory for us. But the new stuff is coming up next, you guys. It's coming up next. Okay, so turbo kit, probably going to save till the end. That's just going to be like intake and exhaust system. They're going to be a little bit different now. Let's grab our higher horsepower distributor and just make sure that actually bolts in. Perfect, nicely done. Probably should have done the spark plugs before that, actually. Let's get our spark plug socket wrench. Crouch down, grab, wait, what? Where did it go? Where did it go? It's gone. Just so we can see if it happens again, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing and left click on the spark plug. Are they bad? Are they fouled out? Where are they going? Where are they going? And again, gone. Disappeared. Wait a minute. What? Did we just install them into the trolley? Okay, so we don't want to use the spark plug socket wrench right now. We have to loosen them. We actually did just install them somehow into the trolley. Okay, now they should all be loosened, hopefully. Let's see if we can grab them from here now. What is happening? So once we get the spark plugs installed by hand, now we can come through with the spark plug wrench and just get them tightened up. Let's grab our old set of wires. Those are gonna go right there. They just sort of pop into position. Oil filter, same deal. You would probably want to replace this, but we know that's a good one, hopefully. And then last but not least, our accessory belt. There we go. Okay, so the engine is completely assembled again, everything except for the turbo kit. That's what we get to try to figure out now. Oh, actually, hang on, I misspoke. This is actually an upgraded fuel pump. So here's what I'm thinking for the Toogii kit. I don't think we could use the performance carb. As cool as that may be, there's just no way for our Toogii to, you know, actually work with that system. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna need the original carburetor, the original intake manifold, and then maybe this turbo pipe goes on there. Perfect. Okay, let's get that bolted together. And then we could just throw this thing on as one complete assembly. So let's pick that up yet again. We'll bring it on over here. That's gonna go right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So still carbureted, obviously, but now we're going to be able to strap a turbo to the rest of it. The exhaust is going to be different too, so let's start mocking up the exhaust manifold here. Going to be kind of tricky to get all them screws. There we go. And then now I think we're actually ready to get the turbski bolted up. That's looking nice. We've got one bolt there. Probably one on the opposite side. Is that it? It's just together and working. This must be like silicone or something. Air filter's probably gonna go right on the front of the turbski. Got a little hose clamp right there for the silicone as well. And then I think this is gonna be the last piece of the puzzle. That should complete the exhaust system, I would think. If it would just let me bolt it up. There we go. All right, 2 bolts right there. And then that should go directly to our new exhaust system that we have over here. Because for the V8, we did have to swap things around. We've got 2 dual exhaust, I guess. Our 1.8 liter turbo inline 4-cylinder engine is now completely assembled. My first car actually was a 1.8 liter turbo, but didn't have a carburetor, obviously didn't have a distributor or anything like that. So same, but different. I'm very much looking forward to hearing how this puppy sounds. Speaking of which, before we rip the heart out of this old girl, we should probably turn her over one mow again, just for old time's sake, if it will let me. We'll sit down first. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. If you sit down, you can actually turn the steering wheel. It makes it quite a bit easier. Let's just give her some cold start revs, because that's really good for your engine. You can see just how quickly it hits redline. It's kind of insane. We could put her in gear. It's like kind of in the air, right? Actually, our e-brake is up. There we go. Now it's not just immediately redline. Sounds pretty good. Sounds nice and healthy. I love the chop at idle. I think that is perfect. But you know, we got something else. We're gonna try something else out. Now it's time for us to start going through and undoing all the wiring, all the plumbing leading up to this engine, everything so we can get it taken out. Oh God, the battery's just in front of my face. Okay, we'll remove that completely, I guess. That needs to come off. The wiring on this is slightly different than the inline 4. Was it underneath? I can't remember. I actually can't remember. Oh, that's the fuel. We're also going to want to disconnect that, right? Because the fuel line, well, it probably goes to the same place, but a different side of the engine now. So yeah, we'll pick that up, just coil it up and put it over in the corner. Should be fine. Wiring and battery and stuff, fuel as well, all disconnected. So what is left? I think just disconnecting the transmission and popping off the engine mounts, right? So let's hoist her on up into the air. We'll crawl underneath the thing. See if we can disconnect this transmission fairly easily. It's been challenging in the past. Oh, and I haven't brought it up enough. There we go. It's definitely been challenging in the past. And this one likes to hide its bolts for some reason. Oh, this exhaust has to come off as well. That and that. There we be. It doesn't really like what I've just done, but that's fine. You are going over there. We're going to keep this exhaust. And we'll probably throw the whole V8 swap, I would think, in our little, like, storage barn back there. That way, you know, when or if we ever need it again, it'll be pretty close by and not taking up valuable real estate here in our garage. You know? Stuff you gotta think about. I couldn't see any other bolts on the bottom side. It looks like top side is quite a bit easier to find them. There we go. Okay, transmission should just pop off. Perfect. And then let's raise it up a little bit more so we can crawl under there, get that old one. And now you'll really be able to see the difference in size of the bell housings with these transmissions. See how massive this one is compared to the one that's for the smaller liter engine or lesser liter engine. I don't know how to phrase that. But now this old girl is ready to come out. We've just got to disconnect both of the engine mounts. If I can find the other one. There we are. And now hoist her on up and out. Okay, we didn't actually hoist. The game kind of hoisted for us. But there she is. Our beautiful V8 engine. Don't you, like, break on me, all right? That would not be ideal. I plan on using you again just in something else. Not right now. I guess initially I said that we were going to be placing the original engine back in this vehicle, but that's honestly not true because now it's a 1.8 liter. The original was a 1.5. Let's see, even though it's not bolted up. No, it still says it has the 5.6 V8 in it. Maybe now that it's tightened down, there it is, 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder. Still has the 4.6 differential. And now we can grab our transmission and hopefully be able to just sneak that on underneath there. Beautiful. All right. Up we go. We've got to get everything resecured. This vehicle's like barely on the hoist right now. It could honestly fall off at any moment. Looks like we just have one more bolt right on the top side of the transmission. That should be everything completely fastened together. So now we can start working on basically all the systems that we took off but in reverse. So we'll grab our cooling hoses here. That'll be the top one, the upper radiator hose. And then we've got the bottom one. Oh, dude, we have an upper A-arm that's somehow rusty all of a sudden. They were all fine a while ago, so not sure what we did to cause that. Hopefully, that'll be a pretty easy fix, though. Okay, coolant lines are complete. Let's get the battery chucked in there next. That's just going to go right there. And then positive and negative leads, or wires, whatever you want to say there. All right, last but certainly not least is going to be the fuel line, and that just has a single bolt right there. Perfect. All right, let's drop the hood, drop our wrench, and let's actually put the e-brake down. And we'll just back it out slowly. You know, we'll Flintstone it out the garage. No need to rush this. We don't want it to go too far, though. And stop. Perfect. I do wish we had some way to, you know, add a little bit more better fitment. Dude, I just can't. I can't speak. I can't speak. The amount of takes that I've had to do this recording is awful. As I was trying to say, though, see how much space we have from rim to the wheel well of the fender? Like, that's a huge gap. That's easily 3 or 4 inches. So I wish we had some way to space the wheels out accordingly and just make our fitment look a little bit nicer. I mean, especially in the rear, it's just as worse. Actually, I think the front, oddly enough, is worse than the rear. But we're not worried about the fitment right now. All we're really concerned about is if this thing turns over and sounds mad. So, let's find out, shall we? It sounds the same. It actually sounds the same as our original inline 4. I don't know what I was expecting, I guess. Let's actually just drive it around. Just real quick. Quick little cruise. Ooh. Okay. What about a neutral rev? I do be hearing a blow-off valve. That's pretty sick. And you definitely do hear, like, the turbo spool up. Let's see what it sounds like under load, though. Ooh. Yo, it's zippy. It's zippy. It's not as torquey as the V8 was, but it gets up. Oh man, it sounds really nice, you guys. It sounds really, really nice. I hope my suspension issue that we noticed with the upper A-arm, isn't gonna cause us any trouble. It might have. It might have just about right there. Dude, it sounds so nice. I love it. So we've got upgraded fuel, specifically for the Toogii. You know, we're dumping more air into the engine, so to speak. So we also have to compensate with that for fuel as well. So we have an equal ratio. Something else that this one is missing. What the heck was that? What was that, dude? Did we just blow up? Actually, though? What the heck just happened? Hang on, let's inspect. There's nothing dragging. What? What? You guys. I know what I did. I know what I did now. I forgot to put oil in the engine. And also coolant. Oh, yeah. Okay. That is the sound of a piston going straight through the block. And I haven't saved once today. Awesome. Awesome. Good. 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 Glad this is happening. Very glad this has happened. Okie dokie. Well, I guess we've got our project figured out for the next episode, so that's fantastic. Note to self, add engine oil. Remember to add engine oil. Awesome. So good. Okay, well, I think that's where we're going to wind down this episode at for today. Thankfully, we do have a backup engine, I guess, for instances like this. But if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.